Well, the TSA expects today and the Sunday after Thanksgiving to be the busiest travel days. The agency has prepared by increasing staff and enhancing safety measures. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw no Thanksgiving holiday rush this year at the Portland International Airport. The CDC and state health officials have asked people not to travel. And as far as flying goes, it looks like many people locally are following that advice. Fox 12's MARILYN Deutsch has more from PDX.
It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and we're not seeing the usual holiday hustle and bustle here at PDX. Except for the test runs by the F-15s at the airbase, it is stunningly quiet here at PDX the day before Thanksgiving. Worried that Thanksgiving could become a super spreader event, health officials at both the state and national level have asked folks to stay home and only celebrate Thanksgiving with the people you live with. PDX is seeing just a slight increase in travelers this Thanksgiving week compared to just before this year's holiday travel began. However, usually Thanksgiving travel means a packed PDX, roughly 500,000 passengers. This year, there will be less than half that number. Some travelers, more than masking up for their flights, they are donning plastic face shields for extra protection. Of the few folks traveling today, most did not want to talk. One man actually telling us he was embarrassed by what he was doing flying during the pandemic.
Extra masks and hand sanitizer wipes.
But then we met the MCCLESKEY family from Vancouver heading to Maui for a 2-week vacation. And while the CDC says no one should travel unless it's absolutely necessary, listen to what the MCCLESKEYs have done to try to have a safe family vacation.
We're good. We're all negative.
3 days ago, all 5 family members tested negative for COVID-19. Hawaii actually requires that.
This is our 3rd attempt to go to Hawaii. And so
Since the pandemic?
Yes. So once they reopened it back up again, we got on it, booked our flight and our hotel, and decided to go.
But that was before the latest surge, 2 million new cases across the U.S. in the last 2 weeks, and before some health officials worried out loud that Thanksgiving could be a super spreader event.
With the cases rising, that absolutely crossed my mind, but we did self-quarantine for the 14 days prior to our testing. We've had food delivered, we've made concessions around not going anywhere, not seeing family.
I haven't hung out with friends before Hawaii.
Airlines are also cleaning more extensively now, and Hawaiian Airlines has put in a new air filtration system.
Honestly, the airline is probably the safest place to be because everybody's got their test within 72 hours and tested negative. So there's a risk for COVID. It's not going to be on that plane.
And then when we get there, we're spending most of the time at the beach, outside. And
just by yourself?
By ourselves. We even brought some meat so we don't have to grocery shop very much. So, yeah.
Clearly, the MCCLESKEYs have thought long and hard about their decision.
I know that, we self-quarantine and stuff, so we're safe. It's just, is everybody else safe, you know? But, like Dad said, everybody got their COVID tests, so it can't be that bad, right?
Of course, we're all concerned with staying safe this Thanksgiving. Many of us thankful we haven't gotten sick and hoping we stay that way. Others worried about loved ones, and still others grieving those who have died from COVID-19. At PDX, MARILYN Deutsch, Fox 12 Oregon.